Oh, Versailles Church of Christ. Wrong note here. Sorry, Versailles Church of Christ. Pastor Summerall, the mic is yours. If you don't mind, turn that on for us, please.
Let's all bow our heads. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Thank you for all the many blessings of life that you bestow upon us. So many we see, so many we don't see. And we're just thankful for your grace and your mercy and your kindness and your love through Christ, Father. We're thankful that we live in this country, that we are afforded the freedoms to elect officials to serve our communities. We're thankful for all those that are here gathered that serve our county, that try and do their very best to provide for all of the citizens here, Father, to provide the infrastructure needed to function, just to make sure we have things to do. They just do their very best to take care of us, Father, and we're thankful for them. Just give them all the wisdom to make good decisions moving forward, that they'll think of each other and that they'll think of this community, and let us all try to make Woodford County the best community in the Bluegrass, Father. We're thankful for our emergency personnel, our police officers, firefighters, EMTs, all those who serve us, who sacrifice so much. Please bless them. Please bless our soldiers, Father, those that protect our freedoms, that fight for us, that give us the freedoms we have. We're thankful for the peace in Israel. We pray that that peace will continue to grow. Forgive us when we fall short, Lord. Help us to forgive each other. Help us to be graceful and gracious to each other and patient as we all strive to live together. Just be with us always, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
And Pastor Summerall, if you would call Pastor Carroll at Southside Christian and tell him I tried to give you his denomination today. I apologize for that, but thank you so much for offering our prayer today. If you're able, please rise for the Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite in our special and honored guests, the Pink Sisters. They're going to represent our Good of the County, the greatest county in all of the universe, Woodford County program this evening. So welcome to our Pink Sisters. I'd like to invite Catherine Anderson, whose daughter Peyton helped found the Pink Sisters, to talk a little bit about the special events in October that have happened. But I just want to say, Catherine, that Friday night was something special that I don't think anybody could have imagined, and thank you to you and your Pink Sisters for all you all did.
Yeah, thank you. And for those, I guess, I don't know if you're all Zooming it or whatever, but
We are.
I'm Catherine with Pink Sisters, and I have a few other Pink Sisters here, so if they want a moment later, they can come up. And but to what you said, Friday was, I left this all speechless. I know it kind of went away from our tradition of our picture out front, but when you see the picture of what happened on Friday, we all know we probably couldn't have gotten that turnout come tonight. So it really meant a lot for the community to come around us, and we thank all you all for your support and bringing awareness to breast cancer. So yeah, with that, I'll pass it over to anybody else that wants to say anything. Oh, okay.
Well, and Catherine, what we normally do is we do normally, if they want to introduce the
Yes.
survivors, introduce themselves. You're welcome to do that, but you're also welcome to not. But I will say that the thing that I can share in both talking to our public health director, Cassie Prather, and some of our friends is that women who are embarking on this journey of battling breast cancer, they know that in Woodford County they don't have to do it alone. And that doesn't matter if they have family, don't have family, that there is a family, a network of Pink Sisters, and you all are a godsend. You're brave, you're courageous, and I know the Fiscal Court, we join in celebrating and honoring you and extending the promotion of breast cancer awareness to, if it saves one life, that is worth everything we've done.
Absolutely. And on to what you said, partly the reason for Pink Sisters is with my diagnosis in 2018, Peyton wanted to give back to this community who rallied behind me for proof that nobody here, nobody in this community is going to fight alone. And with that, Pink Sisters was formed, and we keep continuing to grow and surprising ourselves. But just for those listening or anybody who knows somebody, you can connect them to us. We're a resource for them, whether they are going through it, just through the diagnosis, going through surgery, or even after, we're here for them. So they can connect to us on Facebook or anything like that. So.
Absolutely, Catherine. And I want to also say someone mentioned, well, what about other cancers and things like that? And I think that's another special part of the Pink Sisters is that the C word is, it impacts so many across the board. But this group is there for everybody, for whatever you're going through, frankly. Not
Yeah,
only
it
cancer.
tends to lead for breast cancer, but we've had other folks come because really, truthfully, a lot of cancers have the same resources. They're not geared to just one cancer. So absolutely, anybody going through any kind of cancer, feel free to lean on us.
Amen. Amen. So I would welcome the opportunity for anybody to, if you want to stand up, say your name. If you want to talk about your story, we welcome that. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. But you want to start us out?
I was just waiting. Hi, Mary Ann.
Oh, yeah.
You raised your hand. Do that again. Hi, everyone.
Sorry.
Thank you again for having us. My name is Debbie Ryan, and 1 in 8 women get breast cancer. Not necessarily because you have a breast cancer gene. I was diagnosed. I do not have any of the genetic variants that can cause breast cancer. There are some genes that also, you get breast cancer and colon cancer. The other thing is women, you get a certain type of breast cancer and you get treated and then you kind of get released and it can come back 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. So it's an ongoing mental battle as well as a physical one. So, and men can get breast cancer too. Thankfully, it's a very small chance of that happening. But I just think it's astounding how many women do get breast cancer. And I would just encourage women to advocate for themselves. I don't want to get too into details, but mammograms are great, but sometimes if women have dense breasts, you need MRIs and other diagnostic studies because mammograms can miss certain women. So even though you're doing all the right things, it can still happen. So just thank you for the county, and thank you for Pink Sisters, and thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
Well, I'm Christy Edwards, and I received my diagnosis in March of 24. And I am a survivor, and I will have my checkups every 6 months for a while. But I'm anticipating everything's good. I feel good, and love seeing all these smiling faces here. This wonderful group, they are awesome, Pink Sisters. My cancer was discovered through a mammogram, so I am a big believer in getting those regularly. I was not suspicious at all, so it was quite a shock. But I appreciate all you all do for our county. Wonderful community. Very blessed.
Thank you, Christy, for your many years of service as our circuit clerk.
I'm Jane Pictor, and although I'm new to the community, I was diagnosed in October of 2020. So I am hitting my 5-year mark now, and I hope that it's clean and stays clean and doesn't come back. I know there's that option, but I did not have this community support before. I was in Florida. I moved from Florida, and right away got involved with the Pink Sisters because the support, the groups, the people they bring in to help you and advise you and give you other avenues is really wonderful. So it's the fact that it is a community here. It's everybody working for each other that's really important. And you might not realize it, but this doesn't happen everywhere. So thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
I'm Donna Melton, and my diagnosis was in 2021. And I will say, no matter what, because sometimes, they'll just go in and they'll take a little sample and a little bit, and you'll be fine, do chemotherapy. It's still major. Mm-hmm. But it's made to, it's just a little bit. No, it's still major. you know. So definitely always have all your tests, no matter what, whether it's for colon or any cancer.
Thank you, Ms. Melton.
Well, I'm Patty Burchett, and I've taught in this county a long time. I had laws a long time ago. But I went through a lot of other cancers with my in-laws and other people in my family, and I'm a runner and I'm athletic, and I was like, yeah, it's not going to get me, whatever. And so when I was diagnosed also in January of 2000, right before our daughter got married, and so some people thought COVID was not a good thing, but for me it was a good thing because we social distanced and I didn't have to worry about being immunocompromised. So, and I never had to miss a day at work. I could Skype right into work. So that was good. But I had such good family support. But I want to say I was coaching at the time too and teaching, and everybody in the school system was so good about being supportive and saying, do you want to work? Do you not want to work? Can you work from home? Can you do? Everybody in the school system was supportive. I was coaching the diving team that year and going through testing and having some of my first chemos, and we went to the state meet, and all my little divers had pink ribbons embroidered on their swimsuits. I mean, it was just great parents, great kids, and then introduced to this whole group, and I can't say enough about how great everybody is in the community, in the schools, and everywhere. So anyway, I'm thankful for all of you all. So.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
I think everybody knows me. Robin Espinoza. I was diagnosed in 2019 through COVID and all that chemo, radiation, the whole works. I'm clear today. There was a little scare, and they are still watching me, but so far all is good. All is good. And Pink Sisters are amazing. If you need anything, you think it's just a little thing. No, you can call any of us, say, look, I'm feeling this way, I need this, and they're there. No question. And anybody that wants to join our group, it's the last Tuesday every month at 6 o'clock at the library. You can come, you don't have to talk. If you just want to sit and listen, if you want to bring somebody with you, like a support person, so that they can hear, we talk pretty candid, and so you might be a little embarrassed, but breast cancer hits a lot of people, and it's not just women. Men get it too. Mm-hmm. Young folk get it too. Mm-hmm. So you got to take your exams and everything seriously. Check yourself. You know your body better than anybody else. If there's something weird, don't ignore it. Do not, because if it's caught early, it's a lot better than stage 3 and having to do everything that I've had to do. So thank y'all for having us.
Thank you, Robin. And Robin, thanks for all you do in raising awareness for needs in our community as well. We appreciate you. Well, we really appreciate it. It's an honor for the Fiscal Court to have you all with us tonight. We'd like to give you all our support. We would not have you sit through our meeting unless you found that enjoyable. But you're more than welcome to be excused. Thanks for all you're doing. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Pink Sisters. God bless you all. Excuse me? I would like to open up the floor for any public comment. Anybody wishing to address the court or make a public comment? The floor is open. Seeing none, we'll move on to reports. The treasurer is currently working on the quarter-end reporting. I've excused her from this meeting. There's no treasurer's report for this evening, but if you have any questions, please feel free to call Melody any time that you need. I would like to invite Rich Pichter, who has a great mom, as we now know, to give us a project update from Parks and Recreation. Director Pichter?
Yes. I wanted to talk first about the basketball courts. I don't know, is there a packet in front of them, or is it on the slideshow? Okay. Pictures will be up on the screen momentarily. But anyways, there you see the pictures of the basketball court. These are located there outside of the outdoor pool entrance, next to the pickleball courts and the entrance to the stadium. It's as you can see, there's lights on them, and they are operational from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Each pole just turns on individually. They're LED lights. They run for about 45 minutes, and then you just reset them if you need them longer. Mayor Dake did ask if we, in this picture, if we purposely coordinated the sky to the courts, and yes, we did. We made that happen. But anyways, they're up and running. We've got brand new rims and goals on them. We spent a little extra, got the same rims that we use indoors on our outdoors, so they're not the old double rims. They're actual single rims, which should make it more conducive for play. And we have seen people out there in the last couple of weeks actually playing on them, so we're very excited about that. I just want to announce that project is completed. Also, Russell Avenue Park is under construction, the playground there. It should be completed potentially this week if everything goes as planned. And hope to have a grand opening ribbon cutting probably maybe the 1st of November or the end of October if we can coordinate schedules with things. But that playground is coming along, and it came in just about a week ago, and our Parks and Rec maintenance staff is doing the install on it. So if we can get all the mulch and everything else down, that'll be ready to go as well this week. Also, that I wanted to bring to you that we have been working on the next set of the special projects that was approved by this body and the City Council back last February 13th of 2024, and that is the turf projects and the field lighting for the youth fields. That's what we're talking about here is just the youth fields. So if I'm sure you don't, but if you remember, the estimate that we estimated for those projects was $2.4 million total, and we just got all the bids in, and we came in slightly under that, $2,389,000 and change. Per the fiscal courts agreement, which was a 50-50 agreement between the two, which also is there in your packets, that's $1,194,865. We plan to start working on the youth ball fields now that the fall ball season is over, the lighting on those to get them up and going, as well as the turf, with a plan of having them open no later than April of this coming year. So we'd like to get moving on those with the construction so that turf projects and the lighting in particular can get done. The low bids were approved last night at the Parks and Rec Board meeting by the Parks Board. The second page then behind those numbers, you see replacement. Judge Kay had asked me to get replacement numbers for the current turf field at the stadium. So this one is not a youth field technically, but it's where the high school plays. Obviously, everyone knows. In March of 25, we obtained an estimate of $625. And combining those bids with everything that we've done on the other page, the actual low bidder, which will be doing all the turf projects, which is Vesio Turf, came in at $558,797. But that is not part of the special projects. I just want to be clear about that. So that's why I have it on a separate standalone sheet there for your information. And are there any questions or anything else I can answer?
So, Director Pictor, I would just point out that, you know, the one thing that the fiscal court and the community should take some great comfort in is that this project, it moved from idea to proposal to working through the different stages of it, and it's been on budget, and it's been on pretty much on timeline, which is...
So far, Big Spring is the only, Big Spring of pickleball and basketball on time, so we hope this one's on time too.
That's right, but we've moved forward. I just want to compliment your management of these projects. As we discussed in the fiscal court budgeting process, we were going to look at partnering with the city and the schools and other organizations to redo the turf field at the stadium. The stadium is our responsibility, and we're working together on that. I'll have some more information on that. I know that I've talked to Magistrate Larry Blackford about potential lighting for pickleball courts, and Director Pictor, you've also looked at a few other potential projects that if there were to be buy-in from the school and the city, that we could look at some other options so that each area of youth sports could have some impact
Yes.
in what we're doing. So that's something for further discussion. I also want to say that in this parks project, with the type of projects that we're doing, of course, we, in our financial responsibility, have had the ability to fund these things with our reserve and with budgeted funds. But I will discuss, as I've already opened the discussions with the mayor, about potential to bond some of these projects. These are generational projects. It would make sense, especially with the city and the school board, to be on board, that we would look at potentially bonding projects. We may not, but I want to make sure that the court is aware of that, and I did mention that in our budget process as well. So questions for Director Pictor?
About this or other projects?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr.
About
County
other,
Attorney, sir.
if I may, about other projects.
Yeah.
The court may recall, this is good timing, Rich, that you're here. This pitch about leasing with the fiscal court, and I'm going to let Rich, if you would kindly please elaborate a little on that. One of the things, though, when we met in my office, talked about a yearly fee. And we think we're in a position where both sides may be able to come to an agreement on that. Mm-hmm. What I need, and is it okay for me to mention that figure, Rich, do you think?
But I mean, it's a relationship between the court and this pitch, so if you're comfortable with it, I imagine they have their board meeting on the 21st.
They have their board meeting on the
they will find
22nd.
it.
They want to review a lease. So I would need instruction from the court directing me to draft that to send to them for their consideration. And it would include, at least initially for their review, a yearly lease of $500. We wanted to do it where it's appropriate but not too taxing to them. And Rich and I had some back and forth discussions on this. Are you comfortable with that, Rich?
I'm comfortable with that because that amount, why it's a $500 fee that they'd be paying to the court, it lowers budget numbers within my budget, within the parks budget. So ultimately, it lowers the number that you fund the department. So you're getting paid for it at the same time your expenses are going down.
And you think it's a fair amount?
I think it's a very fair amount, and I think it's a win for the kids. It's a win for the baseball and softball, and it's not a detriment to the Parks Department or to the court to enter this agreement, because I'm assuming Mr. George will draw up something where if they were to ever default, it would just fall back to us. So I don't see any harm, and it's what the parents want, it's what the organizations want, to let them run it themselves and not have, government involved. Let them do it the way they want to do it. But if anything happened, it is on the county property, would always revert back to the court.
And so at the conclusion of Director Pictor's presentation, I would ask Judge if you would entertain a motion to direct, it doesn't seem right to say, ask me to do more work, but I will ask you to entertain a motion to direct me to draft that to begin that discussion with this pitch and it's Gresham, correct?
Gresham, correct, and their board.
Greg Gresham. And I will do that so they can have something at their 22nd meeting. Probably I'm going to need to rely on them because I'm not sure what all else they're going to want in there, so it'll just be a starting point, but at least I think we'll be able to come to an agreement what that fee amount would be if that might have been a sticking point.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for that, Rich.
Yes, no problem.
Does anybody else have anything for Director Pictor? Then upon the request of the county attorney, is there a motion for same? Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Blackford. Are there any questions thereon? Madam Clerk, did you get that motion?
Yes.
Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously.
Will you report that to Mr. Gresham?
Yes, I'll speak with him.
Thank you.
And I did want to clean one thing up. I did say we would be starting next week. That's not the youth football field, just to be clear. That's just the two baseball fields that are wrapping up. We understand youth football is still going till sometime in late November. That multi-purpose turf field, which will be a football, lacrosse, and soccer field, and some little baseball practice, won't take place until November when youth football is completely done. So I did want to clean that up so that no one thinks that we're going to start next week on them.
Thank you, Director Pichter. Another matter of cleanup. I just want to let the record reflect that Squire William Downey has joined us via Zoom and is on the video, and his vote should count on that motion and vote that preceded. Thank you, Director Pichter. You're more than welcome to be excused.
Okay, thank you.
And I encourage anybody that has any questions on the project, any ideas, to connect with Rich. And he's always available and helpful. That's a great update. Next up, I'd like to invite our GIS Director, Mr. Kenneth Johns. Kenneth, if I could, I'd just like to go ahead and get a motion to approve the master service agreement between the county and the Pictometry International Corp. DBA Eagle View as presented by the GIS Director. Is there a motion? Motion by Squire Kelly Carl, second by Squire John Gentry. Are there any questions for Mr. Johns on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And I took care of that for you, Mr. John. So you want to talk about the ordinance?
Sure. I think, was it a couple weeks ago, you all might have received a loose draft of an addressing ordinance that I have been putting together for about a year. Currently, there are 3 different ordinances pertaining to addressing in the county. One for Midway, one for Versailles, and one for Woodford County. All 3 of them are slightly different. All 3 of them are about 5 or 6 very short statements or paragraphs. This is extremely antiquated compared to where we are right now with addressing across the state, moving towards what they call next generation 911, which is a whole thing in itself. And not to get everything bogged down, but the addressing world is kind of changing and how the dispatch center receives information. This ordinance was put together from a lot of ordinances that are surrounding our county who have already really changed their ordinances dramatically. Lexington, Jessamine County. I reached out to Lexington's a 911 director that Lexington had a long time ago. And he pointed me to some ordinances in other states that I pulled in and referenced, and I kind of made them all work for us. The idea of having one ordinance that is the same through all 3 bodies of government would be extremely beneficial to anybody in my position. And it will allow whoever's in this position to kind of have a leg to stand on when they are assigning an address to any type of development, having to change an address because of a conflict, or anything like that. It'll unmurk the waters when people ask about it and why. And so what I would like for you all to do is ask the county attorney if he would work with me to draft an ordinance for you all to actually move forward on. And my hope would be that once this ordinance gets passed, I could then go to the city of Midway and the city of Versailles and ask them to do the same things.
Thank you, Mr. Johns. And so I would entertain a motion to direct and authorize the county attorney to draft an ordinance related to addressing and street naming as presented and working with the GIS director.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Gill. Are there any questions? The one thing that I can say is that Kenneth has worked diligently on this. There's been a few issues that have come before us that you all probably remember or aware of, and I appreciate your insight on this to bring this to fruition. I would also say that we'd like to look at making sure that both cities will receive it favorably probably before we pass it.
Yes.
But Mr. County Attorney, did you have anything before we vote?
That's what I was wondering, how it's going to be broached to them. we go through all this, then we find out they have no interest in it. How are you going to explore that?
I've already talked to both of the mayors.
Okay.
Not to a great extent, but they know that I'm working on it and have been working on it for a little while.
And are receptive?
Very.
Okay. And I do like, by the way, how you talked about our laws being antiquated and then asked, ironically, me to be involved in the process to change that. But I'm happy to do that if the court so directs. So,
Trying to come up with something funny to say, but can't top that.
all right, I will do that. If the court so directs, I'm happy to do so.
Seeing no other further questions or discussion, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries.
Thanks.
Go Jackets. I know you got to get to a volleyball game. You're more than welcome to be excused. I would ask Maintenance Director Rick Wade to come up and talk about our community stadium sound system estimates. Director Wade, sir.
Judge, I'd like to request the sound system that's proposed is JCA Systems. They came in with an install as well, and that price $29,300.45. Pro Acoustics, when I started this process, started out around $20,000, and it's since escalated due to tariffs on their pricing. It's coming from overseas. Most of this stuff is from JCA is stateside. They've also completed the Henry Clay football stadium, so we have something that this is what they're in their wheelhouse.
I'd have, if anybody had any questions for Director Wade. Is there a motion to accept the quote from JCA Media in the amount of $29,300.45 for the Woodford County Community Stadium sound system and installation? Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Carl. Seeing no additional questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. And I will say that the sound system is well overdue. It's one of those things that really needs improvement. And
Very antiquated.
yeah, like an addressing ordinance.
Thank you.
And I would note, we didn't ask the county attorney to do anything on that, so we're, let me also say that our maintenance department has stepped up. They've done so much in the community, both in downtown and around the community, and they've worked so hard, and they're putting in so many hours, and it's a direct testament to the leadership of Director Rick Wade, and I want to publicly recognize that hard work and how great the courthouse looks and how downtown looks. Thank you, Director Wade.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Freeman, Director Bailey, we have an out-of-state travel request for Director Bailey and Kent Berry. I can handle that unless anybody has any questions for them. Doesn't appear that way. Is there a motion to approve same? Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Carl. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. I'm going to have a couple reports myself here. Director Chandler, as you all know, you approved his out-of-state travel. He's at a conference in Denver. We approved that on September 30th via email approval. I need a motion to ratify that vote. Motion by Squire Blackford, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. We also have the amended EMPG program agreement for an additional 1 year, now set to expire 9/30/2026. I need a motion to approve that amended agreement. Motion by Squire Brown.
Second.
Second by Squire Taylor. Director Wade, you had something, sir?
It's with the JCA.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll return to you there. So this is for our amended EMPG program agreement as requested by Emergency Management Department. There's a motion on the table. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Director Wade?
Yes, sir. They'll send the contract via DocuSign.
Okay.
Authorized for signature on that.
Okay, returning to the report from maintenance, I need a motion to authorize the judge executive to sign and/or docu-sign the JCA media agreement upon the approval of the county attorney and myself once it's received and vetted.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gill, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Madam Clerk, you got that? Excellent. Okay, I want to bring up a couple items that I think are more appropriate for reports than announcements. So our first meeting in November, as you all know, is on the holiday of Veterans Day. That is a recognized and observed county holiday, so we will be out in observance of the Veterans Day holiday. In discussion with the county attorney and everyone else in our departments and agencies, we believe that Wednesday, November 12th at 5:30 will be the best time to have a special meeting due to the Veterans Day holiday. So I'd entertain a motion to move the first November meeting from November 11th on Veterans Day to November 12th, 2025 at 5:30 in this room as a special meeting for our first meeting in November. Is there a motion? Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Varner. I would just note, Madam Clerk, that we'll go ahead and notice that and publicize that with the Woodford Sun and on our Facebook pages and our website. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Also, we have agreed that we think the best date and time for our special bill pay meeting, the last meeting of the year, will be December 19th, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. That's a Friday, December 19th, 10:30 a.m. So I'd request a motion to set the special bill pay meeting for Friday, December 19th, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. in this room. Motion by Squire Brown.
Second.
Second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. That motion also carries unanimously. Finally, I'd return to Director Chandler's updates. I would inform the court that due to the federal government shutdown, the USDA NRCS buyout program is paused. We were not able to have our initial meeting with our USDA partners in the Conservation Resources Services due to the federal government shutdown. That meeting is a required first meeting for us to go through the contract with them and to set up the parameters of the program. Again, we're not able to do that, and so therefore that program and our buyout program is delayed. Because of that, we're just hopeful that that is remedied soon. I would also say, as far as Director Bailey and EMS, our Medicaid reimbursements for ambulance billing is also on hold and paused due to the government shutdown as well. So there are impacts to the local government, those two being the ones that have been most noticeable this week. Any questions or comments thereon? Any other department or agency have a report for the fiscal court? Seeing none, we'll move on to the general orders and the unfinished business. The claims, the bills to be paid by this county are before you. Are there any questions or comments on any of the bills to be paid? Seeing none, are there any objections to paying any of the bills? Seeing none, I'll approve the bills to be paid without objection. I would like to note that NOS Services did a great job at the WISA complex, clearing a parking lot near the big spring, or excuse, the big sink pike entrance. That we thank them for that. We also need a motion to approve the claim from Southern Communications in the amount of $8,341.16 for the Sheriff's Office using asset forfeiture funds. Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Varner. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. I entertain a motion to approve the transfers as presented. Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. We need to approve the personnel order, if we could. Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Carl. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. We do need to have the proposed first reading of ordinance 2025-13, budget amendment number 3, realizing $9,395,452.44 for the USDA flood recovery grant connected to the NRCS flood buyout program that we just mentioned. That's ordinance 2025-13. We needed a motion to have the first reading of same. Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Varner. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Yes, Judge, this would be a summary first reading of that budget amendment as you just described. So the budget for your fiscal year 25-26 is amended to include receipts from federal grants for USDA flood recovery grant, $9,395,452.44. So your appropriations reserved for transfer is increased by a similar amount. This being first reading, do need to have a second reading, which would occur, would we do it? The first meeting in, or just the end of this month?
November 12th.
Yeah, then we'll have this at our November 12th meeting. Okay, thank you.
Well, and let me ask you all, because it would be good to get these funds available. They cannot be spent without the ordinance being approved. So if it can be set for our last meeting in October.
That's what I was asking. So October the 28th, I guess.
Okay.
It is possible.
In the event it is available for a proposed second reading at our next meeting, I would put the court on notice that we'll take it up if possible. If not, then it will definitely be the first meeting of November.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions on that, please let me know. Moving on, we have the proposed for first reading of ordinance 25-14, the zoning map amendment for Joe Carroll Carter, 10-351 and 10-393 Clifton Road, A1 to A4. Is there a motion to have the first reading of same? Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Blackford. I would open the floor for any questions or discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor of holding the first reading of same, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Hearing none, that is unanimously passes. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Yes, Judge, this would be a summary first reading of that ordinance relating to the zoning map amendment, general development plan for the Joe Carroll Carter property, 10351 and 10393 Clifton Road, A1 agricultural to A4 small community district. The Planning Commission having recommended that this be approved, the fiscal court having reviewed the record by your vote tonight, voting to accept that recommendation and approve that requested zone change based upon the summary of evidence and findings of fact and recommendation adopted and submitted by the commission, be it ordained by the fiscal court that that subject property containing 12.004 acres is rezoned from A1 to A4. The Versailles Midway Woodford County zoning map shall be amended to reflect this change upon plat approval by the commission. This being a first reading, we will advertise it for second reading at the November 12th fiscal court meeting.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
We need to have the first reading of ordinance 25-15, the zoning text amendment for Articles 8 and 10. We have our Director, Steve Hunter, with us. If anybody has any questions, they do relate to non-conforming properties and flood damage. This is one of our flood items that I really appreciate the Planning Commission taking up and moving forward. Is there a motion to have the first reading of ordinance 25-15, amending Articles 8 and 10 of the Versailles Midway Woodford County zoning ordinance?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gill. Second by Squire Varner. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. The next item is...
Judge.
Yes, Mr. County Attorney, let's have a reading of it.
Judge,
Ready
This,
to go.
this being a 32 pages of ordinance amendments, this will most definitely be a summary first reading. The ordinance amends Article 8, nonconformities, and Article 10, flood damage prevention regulations of the Versailles Midway, Woodford County zoning ordinance. Under nonconformities, under Article 8, new Section 801 and 10, intent, new Section 802, nonconforming structures, new Section 803, nonconforming uses of land, new Section 804, nonconforming lots of record, a new Section 805, repairs and maintenance, new Section 806, conditional uses, not conforming uses, and then the latter pages were those provisions which were stricken and replaced by this. Then beginning on page 4 of the of what you have in front of you, Article 10 used to read flood damage prevention ordinance, now reads regulations, and those changes spread throughout. Certain provisions are reflected in those pages. This being a first reading, it does need to be advertised for second reading, which can occur at your November 12th meeting.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
Now, moving on to net recovery, I was anxious in discussing this because it is somewhat of an exciting topic, is the progress we've seen with the net recovery device. We had an excellent retreat for the Woodford County Agency for Substance Abuse Policy. Squire Blackford was there. There was Director Freeman Bailey, the chair of the ASAP, was there, and we had some really good discussions. This item is to approve the amendment number 2 of the net purchase agreement for 2 additional service program participants in conjunction with the City of Versailles as recommended by the Woodford County Agency for Substance Abuse Policy. So I need a motion to approve that and authorize myself to sign in all documents related thereto. Motion by Squire Blackford, second by Squire Carl. Are there any questions thereon? Mr. County Attorney, thank you for your work on that.
No, thank you, Judge.
Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Being that this is a regular meeting, I do have a couple board appointments that I'd like to recommend. These are reappointments, so I hope the court will indulge me. I would recommend that we reappoint Allison Richardson to the South Woodford Water District for a 4-year term, expiring in September 30th, 2029, correct, Madam Clerk? Is there a motion to approve saying? Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Carl. Are there any questions thereon? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously. I will have some more appointments for you all at our next meeting, but that appointment was right for renewal, and I appreciate you all doing that. We'll move on to new business. We took care of the emergency management items under reports. We do need to approve the sheriff's quarterly report for the quarter ending September 30, 2025. Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. We need to approve the sheriff's audit report of 2024. Is there a motion to accept same into the record as presented? Motion by Squire Blackford, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion also carries unanimously. Seeing as I have jumped around a little bit, Madam Clerk, is there anything that you need or we've overlooked? All right, I'll move on to announcements. I'll start with Squire Carl and then with Squire Downey. Squire Carl.
I don't have anything. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Squire Varner, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Just wanted to recognize October the 12th was National Farmers Day, and I just wanted to recognize the farmers of Woodford County and all they do to keep us fed and keep us moving. Thank you.
Here, here. Thank you, sir. Squire Gentry.
Nothing, thank you.
Squire Taylor.
Nothing, thank you.
Squire Brown, sir. Squire Gill.
I have nothing, but we didn't do the minutes.
Oh,
Should we approve those?
Madam Clerk.
Yes, we do. It wasn't no, sorry.
Special meeting minutes and
Yes,
regular meeting?
yes. Are there any questions, comments? or additions or corrections to any of the meeting minutes? Seeing none, are there any objections to approving same? Also seeing none, we'll approve the minutes without objection. Thank you, Squire Gill. Any additional announcements for you? We're going to have to set Squire Gill up here. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Squire Gill. Squire Blackford. Squire Downey.
Nothing for me, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. County Attorney, sir.
No, but thank you, Judge.
The Woodford Sun.
I just point out that Mr. George and I attended a black tie wedding Saturday night of one of our dear
Not
friends.
together. I just want to clarify.
Although Mr. George's wife did comment to me that, thanks for staying and talking to me, Scott. Alan always leaves me. But aside from that, it was a black tie affair which requires tuxedos. Alan and I weren't the only two people there without tuxedos, holding up the glory of Woodford County as a non-formal county.
Judge, may I respond just very briefly?
Judge, Mr. George has passed.
I'm glad I called on you, Woodford Sun, because Jordan's about to kill me for that previous comment. So, Mr. County Attorney, please proceed.
First of all, I did wear a black tie, and unlike Mr. White, who wore a maroon or reddish one, so I was in compliance. And as for what he said about my wife, only she should be allowed to say that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
She will have been married to me for 35 years come Monday, so I don't think I could be that bad if that were the case. Thank you.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
A sensitive subject.
Happy anniversary. I do have a couple things. Homecoming parade, 6:30 this Thursday at the courthouse downtown. The roads will be blocked as well for those to have notice. The last thing that I would say is, in conformity with KRS 15-257, the Office of the Attorney General distributes two publications titled the Kentucky Open Records and Open Meetings Act and Managing Government Records. Under Kentucky law, the following officials must distribute these publications to certain individuals within 60 days of receipt or within 60 days of the day the newly elected or appointed officials or members take office. For me, and the county attorney, who must deliver these publications to each elected official and each member, whether elected or appointed, to each county and city legislative body, local government board, commission, authority, and committee, including boards of special districts, pursuant to KRS 6555. So I want to put the fiscal court on notice. I know that you all have received this via email. Let the record reflect that this is also your notice as well, and to also that the clerk, who does a tremendous job, that is so good, and if she ever forgets anything, it's because I've actually forgotten it, so I'm sorry about that, that she has distributed it to the other government boards, commissions, and authorities and committees as noted in this Attorney General letter. We appreciate that. I will say that the fiscal court is leading Kentucky in our openness and transparent in the way we handle open records and open meetings. So I appreciate your attention to that. Please return those at your nearest convenience. Seeing nothing else to come before this honorable court, it is my honor to serve with each and every one of you. And we are now adjourned. God bless you, and God bless Woodford County.